You know, what good sports bundle will be without a little classic, a little something, a little Tecmo Bowl? Oh yeah, you know it's Tecmo Bowl. That's right. There have been many incarnations of this classic game of football, of the foosballs. You've got the NES version of foosballs, and the Super Nintendo version of the foosballs, and the Genesis version of foosballs. Strangely, got a Game Boy version of the foosballs, PlayStation version of the foosballs. How come I haven't seen? How come I haven't seen anything other than Saturn, or maybe even now? Well, okay, now it's on the DS, but the last good one I've actually seen was, well, the PlayStation version of foosballs. Now I was supposed to do Tecmo's Super Bowl. Well, yeah, I was supposed to do this on Super Bowl Sunday, but it never happened. I don't know why, but it never happened. So what I'm going to do is let it be a true football game. Yeah, a true football game, folks. Could I possibly be putting out something worse? Could I be signing somebody's death? I don't know, maybe I am. Maybe. I'm not certain. But yeah, for you sports nuts out there, and I do mean you sports nuts out there, because I know there are people out there who loves Tecmo Bowl, and then you got people who love Madden, the ultimate fanboy football game. But come on, a little love for Tecmo Bowl, if you don't mind. Tecmo Bowl really doesn't need no introduction whatsoever. It doesn't need a review. You know what it's about. What we need is a new Tecmo Bowl. That's what we need. We need a new Tecmo Bowl for this generation. Because the DS, yeah, while it's good and all, that's not enough. We need something for the Wii, the PlayStation 3, and the 360. And you know what? Even for the PC. Because why the hell not? And the music. The music is just so flippin' sweet. Just because it is. And it's just so flippin' sweet. I don't see nothing wrong with this game. I really don't. We're gonna be starting in the Tecmo Bowl. People gonna whipping in the Tecmo Bowl. People gonna be smacking around. I don't know. Every time I hear that piece, I just want to sing for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe I am crazy. Maybe I'm not. But I think Tecmo Bowl, to me, was my personal favorite because it it wasn't like Madden, in which Madden is so blown up now, but it's not as terrible as you see other football games. I mean, I've seen plenty of football games, video football games, and like I said, I don't really play certain games. Like, I don't usually play football, or I don't usually play baseball, because I'm really not that kind of a gamer. I'm not a hardcore sports gamer. So yeah, I pit the Jets against Green Bay. Place your bets, people. Place your bets. I know there are those out there who are looking forward to Green Bay kicking somebody's ass. And this is 1993, but still. You got the Jets versus the Packers. I think I might have opened a fresh can of whoop ass, though. Don't know why, but I'm just seeing it. It's a fresh can of whoop ass. Nobody's safe. For those who actually grew up with a Nintendo, well, need I tell you what is going on? I mean, really, do I need to tell you that this is Tecmo Bowl? I mean, if you still have your Nintendo, unlike me, in which mine just died up on me, I still have everything else. Tecmo Bowl has been around, and like I said before, it shouldn't just stay at DS. It should be on PlayStation 3. It should be on 360, and it should be on, of course, Wii. Like I said, if it was such a good game, I swear, if it was such a good game, how come we couldn't get this kind of coverage when we were actually watching a football game? I mean, not to complain, but you know. Oh, very nice. It's one of those instances which you know is a good game. I mean, a very, 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 very good game. Fumble! Fumble! Recovery! Amazingly, this game actually had a few sequels. Tecmo Super Bowl, of course, and Tecmo Super Bowl 2, and then there's Tecmo Super Bowl 3, Special Edition. Now, one of the great aspects I remember about the third one is that you can make your own players, and you can put them on certain teams. And this is long before the move to certain teams. So let's say if I wanted to make my own, if I wanted to put myself in the game, I could. Or if I wanted to put somebody else I know. Like some of my subscribers, if I could, I would do it. Or even your best friends, yeah. Even my best friends, I could do that too. Well, it is Father's Day. So, one of the few things I could talk about while this game is actually going on. Well, I haven't mentioned this, but of course I'm 32. It has been about 19 years. Yeah, it has been about 19 years since my father's passing. I can talk about it now because, I'm no longer saddened by the fact that, he's gone and he's out of my life. But the fact remains that, yeah, it's been so long. And it was around this time of year. Interception! Touchback! Anyway. What was I saying? My father. Yes. It has been a while since I've actually seen my father's gravesite. And for that matter, it's been a while since I've seen my grandparents' gravesite. They're both in Louisiana right now. Well, actually, that's where my father grew up. He grew up in Louisiana, so it would make sense. My father was born in Baton Rouge. Yeah, Baton Rouge. He often told me stories about Nons and Baton Rouge. Most of my family hails from Baton Rouge and Baton Rouge, Alexandria, Lecomte, and I think Lafayette. And of course, there's some people living in Texas. For the most part, Austin. I have a couple of relatives living there. Austin and Pflugerville. But anyway, as I was saying, yeah, it has been 19 years since my father's passing. It's around this time of year that I don't really like to go out on Father's Day because I like to, have a moment to remember my father. It's just showing respect. That's all it is. My father died from a heart attack. Actually, his heart just stopped. It happened when one night we had lasagna. We had lasagna for dinner, and for some reason, I don't know how, that following night, we hear a thud. My mother went to go check it out, what that sound was. And as I got up, I think it was the next morning. Matter of fact, I believe it was the next morning. Excuse me. Oh, before I continue, for anybody who is listening to this, thank you. But if not, and you find this really boring, then leave your nasty comments to yourself, okay? Thank you. As I was saying about my father, we heard this thud. My mother went to go see what happened. She found him laying on the right side of the bed, well, the right side of the floor, next to the bed. There was no pulse. There was nothing. There was just, it was just quiet. And the thing was, I didn't know that he passed away until the paramedics came. I had to leave. Interception. I had to leave to go over to a friend's house. At least, until I came back and found out what was really going on. So I stayed over there for about 30 minutes to about damn near 2 hours. When this happened, I was devastated to know that he passed away. His heart just stopped. I mean, that's what happened. His heart just stopped. There was no two ways about it. When his heart stopped, I think what happened after that, after his heart stopped, what happened was I balled up. Yeah, I balled up. As in, I curled up into a ball, but I balled up and cried. I must have cried so hard because I couldn't believe that he was gone just like that. And the fact remains that he was gone. Well, it was hard on me because, A, I had to grow up into a man. Just like that. I mean, I was a teenager, but I had to grow up into a man just like that. So, what happened was a family friend of ours just helped us through the hard times, and, well, he eventually came to me and he asked for my mother's hand in marriage. That family friend happens to be who is now considered my stepdad. And after all the many times that he's been there, I mean, I've heard stories, stories that doesn't even involve me, and I consider to say, please, whatever it is, if it's about my father, leave me out of it. Or if it's about my mother, leave me out of it. I don't need to know this. And, just some supposedly dark secrets about, but I don't really give shit for. It's just silly. But now that I think about it, he's been there through the most important parts of my life. Me growing up, for one. That's really saying something, I think I mean, to this day, yeah, I see nothing wrong with it. That's why I really don't go out on Father's Day, because I like to remember my father the way he was. He was quiet. He didn't really cause no problems. He just, he was just, there. I remember my grandfather, though. My grandfather was the same as my father. He was a very quiet man. He didn't argue with his wife. He just basically sat outside. Both of us be talking. He mainly asked me, "Am I courting anybody?" I said, "No, Papa, I'm not courting anybody. Really not." We'd be talking for like hours and hours on end every time I come visit him in like comp. To this very day, I always go by the old house whenever we're in town, and we always stay at that house. Last time we actually stayed at that house, there was me and my cousins. Me and my cousin Terrell. We stayed at the house, and we were reading something, and I think there was no. We were both reading. We were both reading because we didn't watch TV. But I do remember that there was this this rat that just zipped by us, and I was reading a code book while he was reading a comic book, and we both looked at each other and said, "Did you see that?" So as we saw that, we kind of freaked out because we didn't know what the hell just happened. So it was funny. It was one of the rare instances we just laughed, and it was such a hard time because, well, my grandmother just died. My grandmother passed, and my grandfather was sent to and my grandfather was sent to the old folks home. He died in the most saddest way possible. He died of a broken heart. Because of his wife not being around, there was no reason for him to be around. For some reason, I want to somehow. I want to end up as the guy just coming home from work, namely doing books. I want to come home with a fat wallet, a cold drink in my hand, namely a Mountain Dew of sorts, and and yeah, a Mountain Dew. I like to come home with a Mountain Dew in my hand and kiss the little woman hello. And simply listen to her talk. I'd like to be greeted by my kids, tell me how their day went, and of course being greeted by the family pug. Yes, I said it, pug. Because the next dog I am getting it will be a pug. But yeah. If it's anything my grandfather and my father taught me, it's, well, after a hard day, you really don't want to talk too much about it. Unlike unlike their wives who want to talk about it, we don't want to talk about it. But that doesn't mean we won't listen. That's the thing. We'll listen. We just won't have a say about it. there's something else. And before I actually go back to this game, yeah, I think I've mentioned this before, but if I haven't, I'm gonna say it now. I was once married. Oh yeah, I was once married. I was when I was in Japan. I the only way I had to stay there was of two ways. I had to be of Japanese blood, which I wasn't, or I had to marry somebody who lived in the place. Therefore, I'd stay. Well, I did get married. However, I wasn't as happy. So you see, even though I had a place to stay and I mainly took care of the house, I was a house husband, mind you. I really wasn't happy. The reason I wasn't happy is because the simple things I wanted to do when I was married, the simple things I really wanted to do was go on a date, get to know my wife. That was the most important thing I remember. Just in any relationship, you have to take it slow. And so that's what I did. I took my relationship very slow. And once again, like I said, to anybody else who was listening or they're commenting, please think before you comment, okay? If you don't want to hear it, then don't click on it. Otherwise, shut the hell up and be nice. But like I said, when I was married, that was pretty much all I wanted to do. I wanted to get to know the person I married much better. Problem was she had a kid. And wherever we went, he had to go. He had to go with us. Thing was this. He was almost 10 years old. He's about as big. Well, he's about, if I were to actually look at myself, he reached my stomach. He reached my stomach, so therefore, he was he was big. I mean, big, 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 big. And also a troublemaker. I mean, not like Dennis the Menace style, but I mean a troublemaker. He was somewhat so-so in school, but he was a pain in the ass when it came to having social skills. And his Japanese could only get his ass handed to him. So I tried to tell him, maybe you should get some new friends. Maybe you should get some better friends. Maybe you should do something about the friends you got. I mean, I could do so much for the kid, but seriously, he had issues that just didn't make sense. And we had to go to therapy and counseling and all that. Family counseling, family therapy. And bullshit happens, Just solid bullshit. Always happens every time, no matter what. Well, what happened was I wanted to check myself. I wanted to make a checkup. I couldn't do the checkup in Japan, so I had to go back. So what I did was I left a note, and I'm saying I had to go back just to make sure I was okay, because I didn't want to end up being a ball of nerves, and I was unable to, take care of my then wife and her kid. Really, I could have just said no. I'll leave that up to you. But no, I had to. I had to try something once. I had to experience what being a father was like. So that's what I did. So therefore, I don't know how, but one day she was pregnant. I had become a father, or I was going to be a father. Well, the thing was, I didn't know about this, but she was cheating on me. She cheated on me. We finally went out on a date, and she just told me, I've been cheating on you. Yeah, that's pretty awkward, just for a date, you know? And I just sat there listening to her. And after all the hard work that I actually put in to this relationship, I put in going to school, actual to learn actual Japanese. I actually put in the initiative to write in Japanese, to write in romanji and katakana and hiragana, which I can still do to this day. She told me all this while we were sitting at this table, and all I can say is, in my mind, oh, you bitch. How fucking dare you? After all the hard work I actually put in to try and stay here, trying to make something of myself, and this is what you do? It's not like I wasn't doing anything. I really wasn't. I was just really online downloading music. That's all I did. Downloading music. But now that I think about it, I regret nothing. For you see, my first child, yes, I said first child, my first child died as stillborn. The child that I was going to have in Japan never happened because, yeah, it was stillborn. I figure it should be said that I used to be a father. Since it is Father's Day, I used to be a father myself. So, what I know now is that the next time I do get married, whenever that is, I'm gonna make sure that me and the missus actually go out on dates. I mean, it doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be nonchalant. It could be, McDonald's. It could be Burger King. It could be even Carl's Jr. And it could be, just simple. But, just to get to know each other, just to say hi, just to, make sure we keep in contact with each other. Just make sure that we say to each other that we love each other. The simple things, that's what I'm keeping important. Because the simple things are very important in any relationship. Most people don't notice, but the simplest things are the most romantic. So in any case, yeah, I had to share my story about what happened to me in the past and what happened to me now. Like I said, I have no regrets for what I did in Japan because really all I did was I made myself a better man by learning Japanese. Because when I actually came back, I became a short-lived Japanese poetry teacher, and I did it for 5 years. At the same time, when I still had web TV, I wrote my first book. Then when I got my computer, I basically put it onto, I put it onto, I put it all on a website. Kept in, Finally kept in tact with my website, and what I did was I saved it to this computer, and I still have it to this day. And and even now, my first book will be coming out this summer. So if anything, I feel pretty great because I don't know if any other LPers have lived the life I lived. But for any viewers out there who are listening to the sound of my voice or watching this while I'm watching Tecmo Bowl, I'm just letting you know that I'm not ashamed about my life, and I'm not ashamed for what happened in my life. I mean, everything happened for a reason. I got over it. I managed to turn a negative into a positive, and therefore, liars are happy. I'm happy because I'm a Let's Player and an author, and I did it all in under less than 10 years. So that's the biggest accomplishment in my lifetime. So I've no complaints, no regrets about my life so far. Only thing I have to do is take my vacation and then just strategize on what I'm going to do after said vacation. But most importantly, I'm just going to enjoy my life. Regardless of whoever has something nasty to say about it. But as you can see by the score, the Jets are kind of getting that. The Jets are putting a smackdown on the Packers. But I mean, really, this game has been pretty tight. 31-27. It's only the third quarter with 6 minutes left. And all I see is desperation. It's going to be tough to see who's going to actually win this one, though. I mean, I know there are going to be Packers fans, and there may be some Jets fans out there. But still, something's about to happen, and we all know what's going to happen. Somebody's feelings are going to get hurt. any worst way possible. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stay right out of it. Because I'm a baseball fan. That's the reason why. I'm a baseball fan. If it was another baseball game, I'd be doing that. But as you see, I am doing the essentials. Mainly baseball, basketball, football. Will I do a soccer game? Maybe I might. Maybe I won't. But I'm only doing the essentials right now. So, for those who were listening to this entire story about my life, I'd like to thank you for your time and attention because that kind of explains why I treasure Father's Day. I know about Mother's Day. My mother is still living, and thank God she is. The old man, or rather my stepdad, as I like to call him, is still living, still as pungent as ever. Still dropping F-bombs, like always. And he still has this pungent stench about him, but anyway. But anyway, yeah, this game is coming slowly, but swiftly, coming to a close. Asses will be handed. And yes, the asses will well, more than likely be handed. I know, I could have done 5 minutes, but come on now. It's Tecmo Bowl. I mean, how can you not mention Tecmo Bowl? And as I stated before I got into my story, I prefer to be I prefer Tecmo Bowl over Madden, just because Tecmo Bowl is that good and it pretty much had many incarnations throughout every console, from Nintendo to well DS, because that was the last time I actually saw. That's the last time I actually saw a Tecmo Bowl game. It was on DS. But I still say it deserves to be on the next generation consoles. It deserves to be on the Wii, 360, and the PS3. Hmm. They made a Green Lantern DS game. I'm not surprised. And you can play as the other ones. Nice. Well, in any case, I think I've said enough, and well, as you can see, 31 to 41. It's a good game. I kind of wish all football games were like this, though. Really, I wish more football games were like this one. At least it'd be interesting to watch and wouldn't be a damper on somebody who's trying to still pay attention to it. It would be quite awesome. Well, we got 14 minutes left in the quarter. Of the last quarter, rather. And the Jets are nipping on the Packers' heels. There goes the kick, and it's good. We have a score of 38 to 41. Blanchard kicks. It's an onside kick. Thompson has the ball. He's going from the 50-yard line down to the damn near 40. The ball has been snapped. Favre looks for an open man. Clayton has the ball. And he gets a 10 and he gets a first down at the 10-yard line. Favre calling the play and snaps the ball to Thompson for a 5-yard gain. Favre calls all the plays. Snaps the ball to Stevens. And by the ref's call, it's a first down. And they run into a brick wall for a 2-yard loss. Favre still calling out the plays, passes the ball to Stevens, back to Sharp. A double snap, and it goes around, and touchdown! (38 to 47). Ball's been snapped. Kick. And it's good. Chris Jack punts the ball. Mathis has the ball. Starts off a 15-yard return. Yeah, I might as well do this because why not? I'm not playing it, so I might as well commentate. Siason snaps the ball back to Baxter for a 6-yard gain. Fourth quarter with only 12 minutes left. Siason calls out the plays. Passes to Johnson. First down. For 8 yards. As the teams huddle up, a break out of it. Siason is calling. He's looking for an open man. A long bomb to the Burkhead, but nobody's there. Once again, Siason looking for an open man, and another pass incomplete. Third and 10. Is Siason going to do it again? Yes, he is. But the pass has been blocked, and the pass is incomplete. Fourth and 10. Is the Siason going to do a bonehead play? No. Yes. No. Yes. No. Side change. Once again, the Packers have the ball. Chris Favre calling the play. Snaps the ball up to Stevens and to Sharp, and there's a 9-yard loss. With only 10 minutes left in the quarter. 2nd and 18. Favre snaps the ball, passes the ball up to Stevens. He's passing the 40, the 3rd, 20. First down for 37 yards. Once again, the ball has been snapped. And interception! Touchback! The Jets have the ball, and this time, hopefully, they might make some progress around here. Esiason looking for an open man, but quarterback sack by Reggie White. It's 2nd and 20. Esiason is still looking for an open man. Somebody capable, somebody trustworthy, somebody who can actually catch the damn ball. But apparently, nothing's happening. It's 3rd and 20 now. Time is slowly being ticked down. It's safety. As the ball's being punted back, it looks like, oh my God, there's a fumble on the field, and the Jets recover it again. The Jets need to come back. It's only 8 minutes in the quarter. 1st and 10. Esiason calling. And he's not passing the ball to anybody. What the hell, man? What the hell? For Esiason isn't doing squat now. All he's doing is calling, but nobody's answering. Ugh. 9 yards. No change. Excuse the rootkit update. Esiason once again calling the ball. Baxter has the ball. Oh, there's a first down. With time clearly ticking away. 7.5 minutes left in the quarter. 38-50 score. Will there be progress made? Touchdown! Finally, progress has been made, but will it be enough to get back? As the ball has been snapped. The kick is up. Once again, we go with a punt kick. With only 7 minutes left in the quarter. Favre calling the plays. Pass it to Stern Sharp. Sharp has the ball for a first down. And 19 yards has been gained. If only 1st and 10. Another 1st and 10. On what seems to be the 41-yard line. Ball has been snapped to Clayton. Once again, to the 14 yards. First and 10. The Packers are actually doing a great job in gaining yards. So far, I don't think there's no way in hell that the Jets can actually come back from this. Sad but true. Quarterback sack by Paul Frost. Once again, 2nd and 11. The play has been called. Favre's backing up. Ball has been caught by Sterling Sharp, who's damn near next to the end zone. 1st and 1. Touchdown! A brilliant display of strategy by Mark Clayton and Brett Favre. The kick is up. With only 4:45 left, time is going. The Jets have possession of the ball. But the only question is, can they possibly get back into this and not pull out any boneheaded plays? Can they be quick enough to do this? Can they pull a miracle in this preseason match? Could they possibly do the impossible, even though it was 1993 then? But anyway, could they possibly do something? Anything to possibly get them back within cutting down time? Slowly but surely, 3 minutes are going by. The score, 45-57. Simonson looking for an open man. Nobody was available, as always. Ball has been snapped to Johnson, who is giving some nice leeway for 15 yards. First and 10 again. 2-yard gain. Very nice indeed. Second and 8. I'm not seeing anything happen yet, folks, but as you see it's happening. It's not really happening. As Johnson was trying to duck and cover, trying to fake and evade, it couldn't be done. No, passes have been incomplete. Second and 10. With only 2 minutes left. And the 2-minute warning signaling. And that guy was clearly on derp. 3rd and 10. I doubt anything's going to happen, folks. I think the Packers are going to take this one. In fact, I'm pretty sure the Packers have taken this one. With only a minute left, the Jets need to pull out a miracle. Otherwise, it's all Packers. And nobody is there. Nobody home. Nobody is actually home. With only 50 seconds left on the clock, I think we'd call this a game over. Yeah. And the score is 51-57. Slowly and surely can the Jets actually pull off a miracle here. (52-57), and by my watch, I don't think this Let's Play is going to be standing still For this game is over. When you're on return with the Packers in possession of the ball, and yet 1st and 10, this game is done. For anybody who are Packers fans, Green Bay has won the preseason of Tecmo Bowl. Of course, I have been the Tenkaichi of Gaming, Pookie Izzy 7. And you have just watched Tecmo Super Bowl with the final score 52-57. The Green Bay Packers have won Tecmo Super Bowl. And for that, I've just shown you the essentials of the Father's Day bundle pack. So if I should do a part 4, I probably will. More than likely later. But in that case, thank you so very much for watching this bundle of the essentials for this Father's Day bundle pack. And I will see you sometime later with another game.